and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Welcome back, guys. This week is I'm still going to do some more work on the boards. I'm pretty much up to date with all my old jobs that I had to do. So if you're new to the channel, guys, sit back and enjoy. This is going to be a nice simple one. You'll probably have to go back and look at a few other videos to see, to bring up to speed of where we are with the wargaming board. It started off as a Killteam board. Now it's expanded to a big 40k board. Regulars here, guys, for the love, thank you very much. So guys, I'll see you in a second. So what I'm going to do this week, I think I mentioned it in the last video, but the video before, I'm going to take this bad boy, okay, and I'm going to make some mountainous terrain, okay. Now some of you can say, what is that? When I started this project, I made a timber frame to do expanding foam and to try and make expanding foam boards, gaming boards. And the first one, it blew out. Second one, totally blew out and was totally wrong. So I was left with these big bad boys. Okay. Now, if you want to see not what I did here, but you see the results of these at the beginning. It's the cheapest. Well, I'll put a link below and you can go and have a look at that video. I'll take these and I'll make these into mountainous terrain. Okay. Now, the best way of doing this, you can already see it's quite thick. So I'm going to cut sections off, bevel the edges and stuff, and then just try and stack them in a way that it's mountainous. Now, the last terrain build I did was the lava build, and when I had on that video, I had it at the end with all the other pieces that I've made so far. And the little bit of lava colouring on that board really made it pop, and especially when it was around the other stuff. So then I thought about making this mountainous terrain. I can actually put a bit of flock on it here and there to make it pop, and I can try a technique that I saw on another channel to do some use a hairspray to make the stack grass stand up. So guys, sit back, enjoy. I'll see you in a second. Right, so I'm just going to cut. I've cut one little piece already. Now, actually, I'll show you that piece. I've just cut one piece of foam board from there. See, already you see the height on it. I apologise if that goes weird because it's going to reflect the light. But look how close it is to the edge. Yeah. So I'm probably going to have to trim 10 or 15 mils off there, just so I can get my finger in with the polystyrene with the filler mix to fit it. Now, at the same time I was saying that, I do want this as close to the edge as possible. So when it's butted up against other pieces of terrain of the boards, it's really going to limit movement and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is cut some random size pieces. I'm cutting again when I'm talking. Cut some random size pieces. Now I've got 3 of these boards left, so I'm going to cut 4, probably 4, and I can't see the other one. But I'm going to cut random pieces and then just try and not slot them together, but just dry fit them together, see how they look. So right, so that's the type of height that I'm going for. Okay, now you imagine that in the field, that's going to be like really high, and people are not going to be able to get. The only things that are going to be able to get up there are going to be like jump packs and flyers and stuff like that. But if it's in your deployment zone, obviously you can put like heavy troops up there or whatever. But you have weapon teams. But you can just make it impassable terrain. But it's more to do with blocking line of sight. Yeah. So I just have to rearrange these into a way that's sort of just, I don't know, that middle one. I might have to just trim a bit off of it, I think. Just try and level it down a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to tinker away with these, okay, and just until I'm happy with it. So guys, I'll see you in a second. Right, so here's my way of thinking. This piece here on top, and he's cut a bit off the edge there, okay, as soon as he's beveled the edges, okay, but this piece in the middle, oh, sorry, the light's getting all weird, this piece in the middle isn't stuck to anything. My thinking is to cut it in half, okay, and stick that side, and pin and glue that side. Now, you know, obviously I have to cut and bevel a bit of this and, you know, all that. And the idea is when they're two separate, they're just weird pieces of terrain, like rocky terrain. When you put them side by side like this, there's a walkway between the two of them. I like this. I mean, I could even curve the edge here a little bit to make it like a, I don't know. I want it to make it look like a normal structure, like not a man-made, just natural. But I don't know. I'm still tinkering with the idea and messing around with stuff. Right, back to it, guys. So here we are. Okay, it's all hot glued down. Okay, so when it lines up, let me just put it away. When it lines up, now there's a little discrepancy here. Okay, when the joint is, I'm not going to trim anything down. It's not a big issue. I think it's 2 millimeters out or something like that. When it's all painted black, you're not going to notice it. But I noticed that and I was like, oh no. But anyway, so it's all hot glued in. I started filler mixing it, but I'm out of filler. So I have to wait until I get some more, which is not a big issue. Now these bits here, I hot glued this down because the gap there was too much. I'll be putting too much filler in there. So I thought, with a soft cut piece, let me just shape it a little bit and just wedge it underneath and hot glue underneath. So it's hot glued under there. So all I've got filler mixing is along this joint here, okay, and along the bottom here, which is a lot easier than trying to fill, you know, a gap. This will be another hot cut piece. I just said I'll chuck it on top because this is going to be flops on top, okay. So this is probably going to be rocky terrain, but with bits of flock on it as well. There's wispy bits everywhere. Anyway, guys, back to it. Hi guys. So look, I thought I'd just bring up to speed where I am. I've still got the double acrylic spray that I used on the last build, the lava build, and it gave me some really ballast stone. Is that how you pronounce it? Sean Messenger. I don't know if I said it right. I don't know. But what I wanted to do with that, I still have a can left. Okay. Now I didn't want to. I did spray the stonework I'm working on, but I didn't want to do it so it's the same as that one. Okay. So I thought, what can I do with this? There's a few reasons why I wanted to do an experiment with it and really go to town on it. One, because if at any point I go to get some spray and that's anything they have, I know then if I do X, Y, and Z after spraying it, it gives me this effect. Okay. And the second thing is because I have a second can. For some reason I bought 2 cans and not one. I don't know why, but you do these things. So I thought I want to use it up. Now, what my initial thought is, okay, let me show you, it's all shiny. You see there's some areas that are like over here that are darker, yeah? Now my initial thought is to use a dark grey on it, okay? When I say, it's not a dry brush, it's like an overbrush. So I put loads of paint on the bit of paper and I started dry brushing it, but with a lot more paint on the brush than I would normally. When that's dry, the next stage is to do a light grey, okay? But to do it the other way round. So anything I catch with the dark grey going this way round, and then the light grey going that way round, and then going to, sorry, a little 8-legged fruit up there, I see him. I'm going to then get maybe some Screaming Skull or some sort of ivory colour and dry brush it the other way. Okay, I then might even go with a dark brown, still Deacon Drab, maybe, or Bay Brown, one of those, and dry brush it the other way. I might do the brown first, I think, actually. Okay, and then dry brush it with the Screaming Skull. Just so you'll have different shades of grey, some browns in there, a little bit of cream here and there on the raised areas, but also any bits that I've missed of all those colours, they're going to be like shiny black stone. Because if you look at like a cliff face or something, it's not all grey, dark grey, light grey. There's little shiny bits of stone in there. There's, you know, all different colours, and that's what I was thinking ahead towards with this. Now, both of them on top are going to have some flock on them, just to break all the colours up as well, to add, and also to break it up from the board. So I thought I'd let you know, just share with you, because I've had one colour on already. I had the second colour on probably tomorrow when that's dry. Just the only problem with doing it this way, and it's all different colours, the two greys is what's an overbrush. So it's more than you'd have on a dry brush, and you just paint it on. But you're not covering every single millimetre, gap. Whereas the browns are going to be a dry brush. It's going to be a lot quicker to do. When I dry brush with a brown, it's going to dry quicker, okay? And the next brown will then dry quicker. And if there's a point where the two browns are touching and they're not dry, they're going to mix together and give it like a dry blend, okay? So it's going to be, okay. And of course then a bit of Screaming Skull will actually just really make it pop even more. Then some flock on top should hopefully explode it nicely with a bit of shiny black coming through as well. So that's what I'm thinking. I've got too much of it, but I've still got a whole can of it, a spray can. So if I do that, it's all good, but it's going to take a little bit of time. That's the only problem. So guys, I'm going to go back to it. And here we are, guys. So all I've done, I didn't go with the brown dry brush on the stonework. I just done the two greys and then done a Screaming Skull dry brush. Now I flocked it, as you can see. Okay, some flock in the middle. And if you look over here, you can see the Screaming Skull. See if I can get it with that light messing up. You can see how some of the rock is still shiny, but it's got different bits of grey on it, and there's a bit of Screaming Skull on there. Now, I haven't used a hairbrush on the flock yet because I'm going to let it dry. I'm not running out of time. I'm just a little bit pressed for time, so I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to hairspray that off camera, and if it turns out great or if it turns out crap, I'll let you guys know next video. But at that, now there's a little issue here with the little gap there. It's a bit, but it's not a big issue. It's a bandy cut on my behalf. But anyway, guys, that's what it is. So, as you can see, fancy camera. As you can see, that's nice and easy. If you like this video, guys, like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. What's coming up in the future? I was asked about fantasy builds. I've got a few planned, a few really nice ones planned. I want to get this big board finished off first. I believe there's 7 more tiles to do. Of those 7 tiles, I think 4 of them are going to be plain, blank, and I'll make 3 of them with some rubble bits on it. This only leaves me the 7 boards, or 2 of them rubble, sorry, and then 1 with, or something like that. But there's only 1 or 2 more builds for me to film for this board. I like this one. I like lava. I think the colours are going to look absolutely amazing when it's together. I've got a chemical works planned. Now, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit the buttons for me, and I'll see you next week.